Gil, so good to see you again. I know your role. Can you tell everybody else a little bit more about your role and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the co-founders and also the Chief Revenue Officer for Cloud Endure. And Cloud Endure, what we do is we help companies move workloads into the cloud. Specifically, we help companies move their workloads into the cloud for the purposes of just staying there or doing disaster recovery.
We met around 2 years ago, I think. You came in, you did a technical demonstration to our team. And it reminds me of this Arthur C. Clarke quote, the guy who wrote Space Odyssey 2001. Bear with me. And he talks about any sufficiently advanced technology should be indistinguishable from magic. I remember watching that and saying, wow, that's really impressive. We came out of the room thinking, does that actually work? So can you talk a little bit about that technology, how you actually do what you do and why it's so successful?
Yeah, sure. So we brought something very interesting into the cloud, which is basically the continuous replication, which replicates all the data into the cloud, as well as something that we called machine conversion, which basically takes any machine and converts it into any cloud machine. So these two together make it pretty much, as you said, magic. Because think about it, in the old world, they used to take other solutions or traditional solutions used to take VMware to VMware or Hyper-V to Hyper-V or other kind of technologies into the same technology, while we can take any kind of infrastructure or technology and convert it into a GCP machine. So the conversion plus the replication is what makes this magic work, basically.
Excellent. And, you know, fast forward 2 years, I know we're running a program together where we're inviting customers to take their VMs and move them over. Can you talk a little bit about that program and some of the successes we've seen?
Yeah, sure. So that's really amazing, amazing collaboration between us and you guys and Google. And actually, it's not only us and you, but it's also the customers are winning, obviously. So it's what we have now is Cloud Endure is basically within the Google Cloud Platform. You can basically import machines into GCP while using Cloud Endure there, and everybody's winning, right? Because Cloud Endure obviously gets a lot of customers using that, as well as Google gets a lot of customers that are really fast. I mean, the migration is really fast, and they get customers in a time that was, you know, once only you could only imagine something like that, but now it's real, and the customers get it for free. So the joint offering is amazing, and ever since we launched it, we're getting a huge traction, and a lot of customers are coming on the platform and actually not believing that it's so easy.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, as you said, it's based out of the console, so you can go in there and say import VM, and that will take you to the Cloud Endure side, right. And then you just plug in your VMs. You know, one customer that we can talk about, we're doing a case study together, is WeP in the Netherlands. You know, if you look at the traditional way of doing migrations, that can take several months, lots of scripting, and often the customer's like, too much hassle, I'm going to keep my machines where they are. Can you talk about some of the successes with WeP and what you developed for them?
Yeah, sure. So I remember one of the Google reps talked to me and said that we have WeP, and we had a conference call pretty quick after, and I showed him the solution, the CEO, and he didn't really believe it could work that easily. He tested it at the same weekend, and I think that he moved in 2 weekends, basically moved 30 machines. He didn't believe it, and after the experience, obviously, he was really amazed by the technology and the speed. So it basically took something like 2 days, something that would typically take weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So he was able, in his weekend, in his spare time, just log in and move those machines over.
Yeah, with a click of a button, a couple of minutes, and the machine is over in GCP. Working.
Our sales team are really happy. This is the easiest deal I've ever done. The customer's really happy because what they thought was going to take several months and really expensive, they could do over a weekend. So that's really impressive.
Right, and that goes on over and over again. We have a lot of customers like that were really, we have a Turkish customer that moved like 30 machines in 2 days and was amazed. And we have another customer from other places which are having the same experience, basically moving machines in a quick, very quick time.
I'm going to ask the question I asked earlier. I'm a system integrator. I kind of make money from billing hours. Is this good for me or is this competitive? How do I reconcile the two?
So, we think that system integrators, which are basically looking on a very long-term, more a long-term kind of situation versus a short-term, would really, really like our solution. And we see it. We have a lot of system integrators which are working. We have a very large company that we helped in India, $70 billion company, move workloads with a partner, with a system integrator that we had Google help us do the match there. But it's basically, they like us because they can then focus on other stuff. And so the lift and shift is going to be very quick, and then they can focus on other stuff and, making a lot of money on other stuff. So it's still a win-win situation, and you can be much faster than the other system integrators which are doing it manually.
It's a very good point. I think what we're recognizing from, and we're hearing from our service partners, is now they can do projects that previously they didn't have the skills to do. And when they get the customer quickly to do a POC, it's a short time to value, and then they can start to expand. Well, now that we've brought your machines over, what else can we do? Let's use more of the Google magic. So that's excellent. So tell us, what do you like about Google Cloud Platform? Why GCP?
So I think that there's two things that I like, or we like, about GCP. First of all, obviously Google is one of the top players in the cloud, and we basically invested in Google when it was very small in GCP, not small in general, because we believe that GCP will eventually be a very, very top player. One of the things we're hearing a lot from customers is that the performance and cost is really, really compelling with GCP. That's one thing. But the other thing is, I think that the Google leadership is going in a direction which will definitely turn it to be one of the, it is a leader right now, but even more a leader, and that's the second thing that we think that why we like Google in general.
We spoke about investing in GCP. We spoke about the partnership. I know you've made an investment, significant investment, over 2 years now. How has that partnership been for you?
So the partnership has been phenomenal, right? Because on the one hand, we're working very closely with Google and getting all the resources and stuff that we need. And I think that the end goal, which is, or what we have right now, is pretty significant. And we're in the GCP console. So that's amazing for us. The second thing is that we're getting also a lot of help and getting Google people to refer customers to us and help us with the business on that side. So we're pretty happy, to say the least.
Excellent, good to hear. And then what do you see as the future in the next couple of years for cloud and Google in particular?
Okay, so I think that the cloud is going to be, so Google specifically, as I said, I think it's going to be a very, very strong leader. And I think that as time goes by, we talked mainly on migrations here. I think the disaster recovery is going to be very, very strong, especially in Google, by the way. And I think that the customers will move from a model of disaster recovery as a service using very expensive solutions such as SunGuard and Island and others to going to disaster recovery such as Cloud Endure into GCP, which will reduce the cost, have a lot of visibility and a lot of ease of use. And that's one of the things that will that I think will be very significant in the next few years.
Really interesting. Well, I look forward to continuing this partnership, and thanks for your time, Gil.
Thank you.